Oops.
But I think once it's finally stable, the concern is how people will come out of that stressful time once stability is reached. And we aren't in a stable place yet.
From the station to WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app, Louisiana's official emergency recovery connection with attorney Doug Sinceri. Connect now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870. Now, beaming back to our Jefferson Financial Federal studio, here's Doug.
Hey, good evening. Doug Sinceri. Michelle Demarest Sinceri. Ida Recovery Connection on WWL, AM, FM, Odyssey.com. We'll be on till 10 o'clock tonight. We'll be on tomorrow night from 8 to 10. Tomorrow night, maybe our last Wednesday night. So I think we're just going to scale back to Tuesday nights. And the music is still there. Yeah. There you go. Just give me a signal, Doug. Are we on?
It's always interesting with these technical issues.
I'm not going to lose my cookies this time. All right, let me call Doug. Doug. Hello, Doug.
Yeah, Doug.
Oh, am I on?
Yes, you are.
Because they got music on.
Yeah, I know.
All right. All right. I'm apparently on with the music.
Over music?
I guess we're talking over the music until the music goes away.
Oh, okay.
So there it's going away. Okay, Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demarest Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection on WWL, AM, FM, and Odyssey.com. That was
always interesting.
it was like on our honeymoon. You were sleeping on our honeymoon. We were landing.
No, I wasn't sleeping on the honeymoon.
No. When we were flying back to San Francisco.
I just wanted to make it clear.
And the plane was about coming off the bay. It was about to land in the runway. Wheels were down, and all of a sudden it pulls up.
Good thing I was sleeping.
I know. And so I was debating whether to tell you what was going on or just saying, hey, it was a nice marriage after 3 or 4 days, a rough landing there. So sort of reminded me of that,
yeah.
you know.
And listen, between 8:10 and 8:12 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, it's always quite interesting.
8:10?
Mm-hmm. Because we started like 10 after 8, and it's always a little disconcerting whether we're going to get started.
Yeah, we're beaming back.
We are beaming back.
From suburban Mandeville to the Oakland Heart Jewelers. No, that's the talk and text line. It's the Jefferson Financial.
That's right.
Studio on 400 Portress on the 7th floor. So there we go. We're here, and we're. I didn't throw a fit this time though.
You did. You're good.
Because sometimes about 3 weeks ago I heard this. People heard me throw a fit. I had that a different facade on, but I didn't cuss.
And you're by yourself too.
I was by myself too. So there you go. So we're here. We're going to talk about the Hurricane Ida Recovery Insurance claims, and we wanted to talk about a particular subject was actually the law. Now, usually when people, I recall 34 years ago in law school, when teachers were trying to teach me the law, I had a hard time staying awake. You were one of the ones who sat in front all the time.
In front. I did.
I was in the back with Albert.
I'm sure you were.
Well, maybe
were you in class?
physically, yes. On Fridays, Albert and I were maybe just a wee bit tired
Oh,
from the night before.
from the adult beverages the night before.
From the adult beverages the night before, just a little bit. So I do remember one time Albert had a few too many drinks on a Thursday night. He did own a bar back then, par fours. And we were both coming in, and Albert looked like heck. Much like some of the times when I used to pick him up on Sunday mornings for the show at 8 o'clock. You know, he's
just rolling in.
Just rolling in, you know. And the teacher, and he had a bad headache. And the teacher the professor, they're not teachers in law school, huh? The professor called on him. But he got the seating chart messed up. And he said, you know, Mr. Nico, but he meant to call the person in the row behind. And he just jumped up he just jumped up screaming, like, what happened? What happened? What happened? What's going on?
Was he sleeping when he got called?
Yeah, he was sleeping. He was sleeping. He was trying to. That was a Mr. Lawson's class.
I don't think I had Lawson.
You didn't have that?
No, I didn't have.
He was sort of. Nobody liked him but me, because he was he thought sort of strange. I mean, he taught very unconventionally. I was one of the only people who got it, and the other ones, the teachers who taught conventionally, I didn't get it.
I was too afraid. I was too afraid to go out drinking, and I was too afraid not to be prepared.
I wasn't. I wing it. I learned how to wing it.
I think you wing it these days a lot too, but you're very successful at winging it.
No,
not the law.
Not the law. Just like right now.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about, they're sort of in the claims process right now for the Hurricane Ida.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I've been talking to that have hired public adjusters, and that's kind of where they are in their process. I know a couple of people who've gotten what they think are very fair claims, but for the most part, not so.
Well, they wouldn't call us if they had a fair claim. I'm
not talking to anybody who calls me. I'm just talking about people that I've actually in general come across. Friends, acquaintances.
So because we don't get calls that people say, hey, just wanted to let you know we had a good adjustment, and we just wanted to let you know.
Right.
So, but we're like the complaint department. I'm gonna try to make the law interesting as far as what's the governing law for the claims process.
That would be pretty good to know.
It is. Just so it's the theory behind it, and we'll talk a little bit about documenting what's happening contemporaneously, so that if you have to make a claim for penalties and attorney's fees, you'll have the documentation to back it up. Because if you're saying I called 10 times, that's not going to do you any good.
Right.
You really need to sort of document your interaction between the insurance company claims adjusters and the information that you receive and the information that you get back. Now, and I still sort of sense, there's a lot of high anxiety, frustration, a lot of frustration just in general because people are displaced, their house is a mess, and on top of that, not getting the money in to address it, and so you sort of just in an inertia, I guess. Yeah. You're just in a state of you're stationary.
And even if you've gotten a fair claim about getting getting your roof fixed, like my brother-in-law, he got a decent claim to start, but he got to find a roofer.
Right. Yeah.
So they're still living with the tarp and seeing the tarp. No sheetrock.
There's supply issues too. I mean, really serious supply issues.
Yeah, I know.
And so that's going to affect, roofing materials are scarce right now. Insulation's scarce.
I know. Well, I wonder if it's on those ships in California, we can get them to go to Florida and get them unloaded.
Good luck.
Florida's ready to take them. We just got to get them.
Yeah, I mean,
got to get the union to let them go.
Right. They ought to, not deliver to the People's Republic of California and get over to Florida, huh?
Yeah.
But
anyway, that's a whole different topic.
That's a whole different topic.
That's a whole different show.
But it's sheetrock, well, it's not a lot of lumber issues because it's mostly sheetrock and insulation, roofing tiles. Yeah, for this one. And it's just, it's frustrating. And the prices are just skyrocketing.
Right.
It was already high before COVID because you had the supply disruptions from mandates, workers, worker shortage,
right.
Labor shortage. So it's sort of tough situation. It's tough circumstances, and just you could hear the frustration level. Also, like with certain companies, the frustration level is continuously having a different adjuster.
Yeah, that's hard because you're having to constantly reintroduce yourself, reintroduce your claim.
Oh, one of the things that does happen is a few people gave their originals to the adjuster. Like, in other words, they gave their original receipts and they're gone. So never give copies. I love scans. Not everybody has scanners, but scanners are great because you can scan it to the insurance company.
Right, and you keep your original.
You keep your original, and you can always access it. You label them. So there's just a lot of difficulty with this. You know what I forgot again?
What?
I forgot my iPad.
Oh.
We'll get it at the break.
Okay.
Because we had 260-1870 is the talk and text line, and we normally get a lot of texts. I knew I was forgetting something when we started.
I'll go.
You'll go?
I'll go traverse.
No, at 9 o'clock we gotta fix the hot chocolate
There
too.
you go. I'm telling you, the finer things in life.
The finer things in life, what we have to look forward to.
After a full day of work.
We'll talk about that. And, roofs, again, are a bone of contention. And I'm pretty convinced, much like in the past, the protocol, unless there's a hole in your roof and you can see the stars or the sun or the clouds, many people are going to have their roof denied as a patch or a repair, or a replacement will be denied and they'll have a patch or a repair. And it seems like the posture of most insurance companies is we're going to deny it first, and you're going to have to prove that it needs to be replaced. And until then, we're not going to do it for you.
Let me ask you this question, because I've had some people ask me. So the original adjuster gets on the roof, denies the roof.
Mm-hmm.
Is it better to ask for a second adjuster to come out, or is it better to get your own, to hire a public adjuster or get your own adjuster or roofer out there?
You want to know the answer to that question?
Yes.
Yes to all of it. No, first, if you get denied, the best thing to do is get a roofer out there, and when he puts the estimate, or when he writes up the estimate, have him include inside the estimate that the roof is damaged due to hurricane winds by Hurricane Ida. Now, I'm saying that provided that that's the case. I'm not telling them to do that if that's not the case.
Right.
That the hurricane damage is due to Hurricane Ida. The roof has to be replaced and it cannot be repaired, and give an analysis as how they came to that conclusion and why. So basically, there's several reasons a roof would need to be replaced. The granules on the exterior of the shingles were lost. So what happens there is you might have a 10-year roof that's now 30 or 40 years old.
Because of the granules.
Because of the granules. Also because of the seal, the seal tabs or the sealant by the shingles to the roof is no longer sealed. So you'd have unsealed seal tabs, which that speaks for itself. Also, you could have issues regarding displaced shingles. Whatever analysis.
Displaced shingles means the ones that are in your garden or
in your
neighbor's garden, or
that's displaced.
Other parts
That's displaced. Absolutely.
Because we've got a bunch of displaced.
Yeah. So if you have that written into the estimate and say, be unequivocal. Also, if they've been in the roofing business for 30 years, you say, as a licensed roofer for 25 years, which is very compelling. And put that in the estimate and then submit it to the insurance company. If they don't want to address that, of course, you can use pictures. There's drones now. If you got, a lot of those, if you got kids who are teenagers, that they take pictures with the drones. But if you have pictures, get pictures also and submit it in. And if they don't agree to a new roof, then you call the adjuster and ask for another adjustment. And then if that doesn't work, ask for dispute resolution. If that doesn't work, ask if they will avail themselves to the mediation program with the Department of Insurance.
That's assuming your claim is less than 50.
Yes, and if that doesn't work, you complain to the Department of Insurance and ask them to twist State Farm, the insurance company's arm to participate in the mediation. And if that doesn't work, call Vito Corleone if he owes you a favor. So that's it. That's the criteria. All right. Well, let's go to a break. This is Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri. Not all things legal is the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Can't miss the Saints Halloween game. WWL wants you to be at the Battle of the Bucks in the Caesar Superdome. Win tickets to the game or tickets to the Saints VIP tailgate party at Vincent Tower, or both. Go to WWL.com now to score your tickets to the Saints VIP tailgate party or the grand prize, premium tickets to the game plus tickets to the best tailgate party in town.
Yeah, because
nothing but net jumpers. It's a Ninjas Throwdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, basketball is back. DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
Because it seems like it would be better to get the adjuster to come back out, and then the insurance company's going to decide. Does that make sense? Like that's what Bob said he did.
I think it's better to get the roofer.
Stay under the salary cap and rack up points for 3-pointers, rebounds, assists, and more. Score big, and you can score big cash. And with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes, it's the perfect time to show off your basketball IQ. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings app and use code BIG870. This week, new customers can get a free shot at millions in total prizes with your first deposit. That's code BIG870 only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Here's an important message from Brad Hazard with the Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors in the aftermath of Hurricane Ida. License is required for any type of work over $7,500. And those who aren't licensed, put it very bluntly, we don't know who they are. We can't tell you that they're competent or they're going to be qualified. We often have no recourse. Those types of guys are the ones that typically take.
That's when we're off air.
Bad work or overcharged. They're essentially just about, they take the money and they don't come and do any work at all. The problem with it is
That wasn't us, though. That was them. What was going on with the music and all that?
People are anxious.
I'm a caller. His name is Bo. He's from La Crosse. He's buying a house in Metairie and needs some advice.
Paying cash.
All right.
Always a bad sign. I know that you want your house fixed. Just take a minute and just sort through it. If you feel like you can take any advantage of, let us know. www.lacontractor.org, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that we possibly can. That's lacontractors.org.
I'm Erin, and this is my life with California Project.
Oh, he's stepping on my thing. He's stepping on my thing. He's stepping on my thing.
Old houses don't have is
That's-
storage.
That's Aaron O'Keefe.
And a lot of
Huh?
them are willing
That's
to
Aaron
store
O'Keefe.
A lot of things. Working with California Project was the only way to get exactly
I think that's Aaron
what I
O'Keefe.
He's Aaron O'Keefe.
really makes my life better. I finally have my dream home, and I couldn't
Maybe
be
that's
more
not
thrilled
her.
about it.
She used to work for California Closets.
Who's Aaron O'Keefe?
You remember Senator O'Keefe?
Why would I know Aaron O'Keefe?
I don't know. I just grew up with her.
Uh-oh.
Bo from LaPlace.
Oakland Art Jewelers on Metairie Road.
People's Health wants you to know that Medicare's open enrollment period is right now. For more information, call 1-855-821-2666 or visit peopleshealth.com. That's peopleshealth.com. Hey, nice party. Yeah, what's new with you? Did you know blue whales in Hawaii can be heard off the coast of California? What? And time travel to the future may actually be possible. How is that? I discovered it on Curiosity Stream. I'm listening. You can stream thousands of shows on nature, history, science, and so much more. Cool. And their annual plans are 25% off, just $1.25 a month. Now I want to go back in time. Sign up for that deal. Sign up now at curiositystream.com. Curiositystream.com. That's it, curiositystream.com. We're all on this planet together. So join Odyssey and find your one thing. As the autumn temperatures get cooler, here are some simple things you can do to help out the environment. Remove any window air conditioners. Check window and door seals to keep heat in and cold air out. And check your furnace, making sure it's clean. And replace the air filter with a new one to keep it running at peak efficiency all winter long. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing? It's continuing coverage of the Ida recovery on WWL-AMFM.com and the Odyssey app. Reach attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers, Sinceri, all things legal. We got Bo from Laplace on the line. And so let's go to Bo. Hey, Bo, what can we do for you, brother?
Who's got to turn his radio?
Yeah, you got to turn your radio down, man. Bo. Yeah, let's put him on hold and we'll talk. And if we can get Bo back up, we'll do that. I was looking to see who's famous from Laplace.
Is there anybody?
AJ Dewey. I know you don't know who he
Who's
is.
AJ Dewey?
Played for the Saints.
Oh.
I mean, for LSU.
Oh.
And then he played for Miami Dolphins. And he was one of the all-time greats. Jared Butler. Okay, is Bo back? All right. We just went through the list of famous people from Laplace. Hey, Bo, you back. What you got for us, brother? All right. Yes.
And I'm supposed to buy the house as is.
Uh-huh.
And then after the hurricane, I went over that book. And there's this shingles missing. And, it's treating all that stuff. I don't know anything about that. But my concern is I'll buy it as is. And it wasn't like as is. Was it hurricane?
Okay, so what's your question? Whether you have to buy the house or not? I'm sorry.
Whether they have to put it back in the condition it was in.
I think it's an open I think it's an open negotiation again. In other words, when you contracted the house to be in a certain condition, and it was and that asset is substantially changed. As is when you purchase
the
it.
Price.
Yeah. I personally think it's you start all over again. If you wanted to abide by the terms, but in essence, it's going to be a renegotiation. And you'd have to read the agreement, which I don't think the standard agreement probably doesn't have a provision for that.
It probably doesn't.
So it does not. It does not. The standard agreement does not. So it would have to be basically a renegotiation. I mean, the practical thing to sit down is there's a couple of ways you can do it. One, you can reduce the price. Second, Yeah, well, the second thing they could do is you could buy the property at that price if you wanted to, I would guess, but that would be a bad deal for you. The third thing you could do is negotiate buying it for a certain amount, and the insurance proceeds will be an offset for some type of payment. So a lot of times I've seen where they'll assign insurance proceeds to the new buyer, because a lot of times you can do that. Yeah, that's something that can be negotiated. But here's the reality of it. Some people have had hurricane damaged property, and they said, should I repair it? And I was like, but they want to sell the property. I'm like, probably not.
We have that issue right now with the client, and we were going to talk about it last week.
And because a lot of people who buy houses, they're going to want to redo it in their own how they want to do it. So you might want to put a type of new flooring in there, and it turns out the new owner doesn't want that flooring, and they take it out. They take out the new flooring and put in their wood flooring or scored concrete or what have you. So I think it's a renegotiation. I think now if you want to still purchase the property, I think you just sit down with them, and there's a lot of alternative. You reduce the price, come to an agreement for that, buy it as is. What's that, Bo? Oh, well, the insurance is not going to fix it. Here's the problem with fixing it is, will it be to the quality? Will it be to the quality that would be satisfactory to you? You see what I'm saying? Because there's different standards Like what may be satisfactory to the seller may not be satisfactory to you as far as repair. That's why they say as is, so you don't get in that type.
As this is for hurricane, I can do that.
Well, that's where you have the negotiation to come in.
Yeah. Look. Just in general for real estate transactions, and this is my philosophy. I've had sales where they say we'll fix the windows in connection with the sale. So they fix the windows. The sale is completed. The buyer moves in, and they find out that the windows aren't fixed to their satisfaction, and you're in litigation. And there's a difference in opinion as to what needed to be fixed. Did it need to be the panes? Did it need to be the seal? You have all those type of issues, and you're back in litigation. You're in front of lawyers, and you're in front of court. It's better, I would say, in a situation is just give a reduction in price, and say you deal with the repairs. Plus, you probably have certain. Yeah.
He's not going to hear what I got to say, I think I don't like this boy, so I said I had this and now,
No, that's it as is before the hurricane, not as is after the hurricane. Yeah, well, you're just like us, attorney. The client's the employer. We're the employee, and you tell them. Just remember that. But there's a lot. I don't like having the seller fix something in order to make it as a condition of sale. Yeah. No, or they can reduce the price of the cost of a new roof. Yes. Well, what you could do is you could figure out what the damages are. Let's say the damages are $40,000. Just reduce the price by $40,000, and maybe they could assign the insurance proceeds or something like that.
If you reduce the price, they keep the insurance.
Yeah, or they keep the insurance. Yeah, that's all negotiable. All right, thanks so much. Thanks, Bob. There's the other thing too. While you're on that subject, I've had several people call. Should I fix my house before I sell it? And my advice is no, because a lot of people, when they would have a renovation, they have preferences. And I'll give you for an example. I mean, if someone, you were interested in a home and they fixed it up and it wasn't according to your preference, you might undo what was done, the new stuff, and put in, there'll be a second renovation in the span of a couple of months. So I like just to say, just reduce the price.
Well, here's where I think it comes into play. Let's say, for example, you had damage, and so you had $30,000 worth of damage, but you had a $10,000 deductible. So you're putting 10 in it. So you put 40 in it. You put floors in it. You fix the floors. You go to sell it, and the buyer's like, you don't reap back the 40, right? Because the buyer doesn't feel like that 40 is worth 40. They didn't want those floors. They're going to pull them out. They didn't want that color. And then you've wound up spending money that you're not going to get back, where you could have just reduced the price.
Right.
You keep the insurance proceeds. You don't have to fix it. You don't have the headache with the contractor. Sell it as is and move on and go to your next venture.
I wish I would have said it like that. I was trying to say it like that. You're right. Now, one of the things, if you have the insurance, one of the questions is if you have a replacement value policy, mm-hmm. and then you sell your home, you lose the recoverable depreciation.
But coming from a cost benefit analysis, is it worth the time? Let's say your recoverable depreciation is $7,000, so you're walking away from $7,000. In the scheme of things, was that $7,000 worth you contracting, you doing the work, and are you really going to get that $7,000 back out of it? Probably not.
No.
If you're lucky, you might get a fourth back out of it.
Right.
Of the $7,000. So it just depends on.
Yeah. In fact, one of the things about issues regarding Katrina in Lakeview, a lot of those houses were 60 years old, needed to be updated.
Right.
And even if they would have been sold and there was no hurricane, chances are a lot of them would have been gutted and reconfigured. Because back in the 50s, I think they chopped up houses a lot more.
They did. They were they weren't open floor plans, very small rooms.
But, and what's in now is outdoor kitchens and open floor plans.
Sure.
So, this is an opportunity for, when people will probably want to modify the house the hurricane damaged house that you'd sell anyway.
Right.
So take out some walls, put in new appliances, and take out bookcases or what have you. All right, well, let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
WWL is your
He just wanted to argue, huh?
home of
I don't know what he was
Got
saying.
another caller? Great. From
Great.
North Shore and complex situation involving FEMA.
Pro analysis of the
FEMA.
teams you love. Catch Sports Talk weekdays 4 to 8 p.m. with Bobby Egan, Christian Garrett, and Mike the Tilton.
This-
Then Game Day, connect to the home team. On air, online, on
The contractor
social.
includes in his estimate,
Men, no matter what size she
what's
wears,
GC,
always come today.
O, and P?
Says,
It would definitely be okay if he started.
O&P, general contractor, overhead and profit. If you do the repairs yourself, you don't get overhead and profit.
Does the homeowner have the right to deny paying these figures, since in essence the homeowner would be the general contractor if they did not
I
hire
call
one?
Nancy's Diamond Studs, and
So
they're
those
good.
funds would go to the homeowners. Is that correct or not?
You trade up for bigger ones. If she doesn't have a pair of Ramsey
Why would the
style earrings,
homeowner
Fix
deny
that.
we have them for
paying
little,
these figures?
Because you're not incurring those charges for overhead and profit. If you do the repairs yourself.
Turn new diamonds in a fabulous
But this says, does the
fashion.
homeowner have the right to deny paying these figures, since in essence the homeowner would be the general contractor if they did not hire one? So those funds would go to the homeowner.
Not necessarily.
I don't really understand the
I
question.
know.
think the question's
What they're
written
trying
wrong.
to say is O&P. Does he get O&P?
Yeah, it could, because
Based
you're
on
acting
the
as
rest
your
Proud New Orleans New Year's Day tradition. Through its
You don't
annual
get it.
support of college football and amateur sports, the Sugar Bowl attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors to the state, providing countless opportunities for young people. Resources from these events enable the Sugar Bowl to support education and community programs, impacting thousands of New Orleans area teachers and citizens. The All-State Sugar Bowl, proud to host the best of the Big 12 and the SEC in the Superdome on New Year's Day 2022.
I'm attorney Mike Brandner. After you've been hurt in a car wreck, you're not sure what to do. The answer's simple. Call us first. The call is free, the consultation is free, the advice is free, and it could be the difference between you getting a tiny check or getting a big check. The insurance company's not on your side and may begin to work against you the moment you call them. Call us first, 345-1111. We'll work hard to get you all the money you deserve.
Results may vary. Offices and never be inhabited.
Louisiana Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin.
Early voting for the November election begins October 30th, ending November 6th. If you live in an area affected by Hurricane Ida, visit geauxvote.com or call 800-883-2805 for information on absentee ballots, polling place changes, and election dates and deadlines. I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin, reminding you to go vote.
People's Health wants you to know that Medicare's open enrollment period is right now. For more information, call 1-855-821-2666 or visit peopleshealth.com. That's peopleshealth.com.
Is your retirement plan out of June? Learn how to get yours in
The last spot in the set will be the Navy on the spot.
Compton Saturday morning, 8
What
to
is
9 for Health
Maybe.
Security Financial Show. Saturdays on WWL. Brandon Holly here. Siding, windows, even doors. ReliefWindows.com.
If you have an unpaid tax debt to the IRS that you can't pay, please hear this special notice. Specially approved IRS relief programs designed to aid delinquent taxpayers are now in effect that can significantly improve your financial situation. Depending on your circumstances, you may qualify to have your tax problem resolved in your favor and may even have your back taxes reduced by thousands or eliminated entirely. A relief hotline has been established by Community Tax for you to call and see if you qualify at 800-256-4180. If you owe the IRS back taxes that you can't afford to pay, Don't let the IRS trick you into
What you
thinking you
doing?
have no way out.
What you doing?
Our highly accredited tax
I was just
professionals will let you know what
getting
you
a
qualify for
famous
and how
landmark
much
at
you can save.
Laplace,
And
I guess
they'll
they
be
call
able to
it.
stop all liens, garnishments, levies, and save you thousands. Call and
What's
see
the
if you
famous
qualify for
landmark
this
in LaPlace?
taxpayer relief at 800-256-4180. 800-256-4180.
What's the famous landmark in LaPlace?
800-256-4180.
It's the old
Tax.
Laplace drive-in. They were in the movie Glory Road.
Endless hot water delivery. Learn about Navient's condensing Tingless water here and find a Navient contractor at tinglessmadesimple.com. Back to Ida Recovery Connection on WWL AMFM.com and the Odyssey app. You can get expert advice now from attorney Doug Sinceri on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri. Michelle Deborah Sinceri and the Ida Recovery Connection. We got Greg from the North Shore. It's God's country. We have garbage pickup. We have drainage. We have electricity. We have traffic lights. We have all the good things that work over here. So, Greg, what you got for us, brother?
Well, first of all, God bless y'all for doing what y'all do.
All right, thank you.
Greatly appreciate. I'm not money up the water too much.
That's all right. We got time.
Okay, so my mom had a house. A big limb went through it. There's a hole in the roof in through the kitchen ceiling. I filed for her with her insurance and with FEMA. FEMA denied everything except the $500. The insurance company came in, did an adjuster came in. They originally, after the deductible and depreciation of the house, they went in and they were going to cut a check for $2,600. And so I had my contractor come out and he looked at everything and he did a somewhat of an itemized statement, and it came to about $49,000. Since he's come out, the insurance company sent a letter saying that they're not going to pay us anything, basically. That, it was basically what it was $11,000 worth of damage with an $8,300 hurricane
Deductible, right? About 20,000. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's what. So, I got my contractor's appraisal and I submitted that in to the insurance company today. So I guess I can wait back and hear from them. But also in the meantime, I don't know what I can do with FEMA as far as getting an SBA loan or asking for help, being that the insurance is completely denying me so far.
Well, I think you could apply. Yeah. I think you can apply for SBA loan and just tell them where you are.
Okay.
I mean, that's no problem.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Also, what's kind of muddy in this water,
Now, let me stop. You're going to have you have a $9,000 deductible. That's not going to reimburse you. So you have at least that for your SBA loan.
yeah.
So, okay.
Also, I think I'm going to be very limited to what FEMA's going to allow me to do. Since then, my mom has passed.
I'm sorry about that. Well, I mean,
Thank you.
okay.
So, I mean, but I don't know if it's going to give me problems.
Well, if the house is in your mother's name,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. You might have a hard time getting an SBA loan. What you're going to have to do first, and you're going to have to do this in order to negotiate the checks from the insurance company, is you're going to have to open succession for your mother, and you're going to have to get a. Did your mother have a will?
No.
Okay. How many are you? Are you the only sibling? I mean, child, or you have any brothers and sisters?
Just one brother, and actually, my mom's house was listed as et al.
At all? Well,
Yes. After my father passed away, did a succession with her name et al.
Yeah. Well, she could either have a usufruct over it.
That's what it sounds like.
It sounds like she has a usufruct over it. It basically what's going to happen if they didn't have wills, you and your brother are going to own the property. Now, in the meantime, you could open a succession, and if your brother agrees, you can be the succession representative to act on behalf of your mother. And if your brother agrees, you can be something called an independent administrator, which means you could do everything that your mother could have done as if she was here today. Now, the only thing you may not be able to do is get an SBA loan because, since she's not, since she's passed. But I think what you're going to probably have to do pretty soon in order to deal with the insurance company, because they're going to want to know who's the representative of your mom's estate. So you would open up an estate to let the courts know that your mom has passed. And if your brother agrees, or you can have a succession representative appointed, and if your brother agrees, it would be something called independent administrator, which means you could act on behalf of the estate without any type of court approvals. You would do everything your mother would have been able to do if she was still here. And
Except for an SBA.
yeah, I don't
know why once the property got transferred to them and they were the owners, why they couldn't.
Yeah,
apply for their own
now if
SBA loan.
you could possibly do this. You could have the property. That's a good idea. You could have it transferred to you and your brother because y'all would own 50-50, and then get a SBA loan, because the SBA would probably use the house as security to make sure you pay it back.
Or just as we were talking about, they could sell the house as is.
Or you could sell it as is. Yeah. Do you want to keep the house, or do you want to stay live there?
You said the same thing. Do you want to sell it or?
Actually, we each have our own house. We were talking about fixing it up and renting it out.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, if it's transferred in the succession to you and your brother, y'all would own it 50-50. Then you could maybe apply for SBA loan, because technically y'all didn't have insurance. Your mother did.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
That might be.
Now, do I have any legal standing against the insurance company?
Yeah. Whoever's appointed as the succession representative can act on behalf of your mother.
Okay.
But you're going to have to open up a succession, have someone appointed, you or your brother. If y'all both agree, I would recommend it be independent administration, so that y'all can act without court approval, and then you can negotiate with the insurance company on behalf of your mother's estate.
But I'll also tell you that you're sitting no different than probably 75% of the people. Just because they're saying they're not paying you right now isn't the end all be all. You have to prove your damages. If your proof is $49,000, you have a valid.
Yeah, and why don't you hang on?
Claim.
Why don't you hang on through the break, and we'll talk about the second part of the issue, about you dealing with the insurance company to get the full value of your claim. Can you hang on, Greg?
Sure.
All right, just be about 3 minutes. Just hang on through the commercials. We'll probably have Big Lou somewhere in between, and we'll just hang on for 3 minutes. We'll talk about the second part of the issue as far as maximizing your claim from the insurance company. So it's Doug Sincera, Michelle Demers Sincera, the Ida Recovery Connection. We'll be right back after this brief timeout.
Both require a little TLC. That's why
He's stuck where people think they're stuck.
Then we have
Yes.
Greg, who will be hanging on. We also have Stephen from Kenner with the demo and family law program.
I learned a lot about boat repair yards. And David and Jeff Bonds have the finest repair facility I've ever seen. Jeff, tell us about your capability.
Bobby, we're the Gulf Coast.
This got recalibrated this time. It used to be 5 minutes ahead. So I'm used to being 5 minutes ahead, but now it's on time.
Mechanical or electrical repairs, we do it all. We also build custom parts and do complete refits. We are located near the ICW, which makes us accessible.
Can an LLC get
Gulf Coast.
an
And now
SBA?
party boat rentals.
What better way?
I don't know, but there's different programs. You can maybe get his rental
It's
property.
available for
Okay, we'll go right after the Rejuvenate.
Rejuvenate. I hadn't heard Big Lou yet.
On France Road.
Must not know Michelle's on.
Just a half mile from the lake.
Probably next hour.
Harbor Marine.
Probably the,
He's on meds too, and he's only on number 2.
we don't do toilet jokes here.
Diamonds Direct has one of America's best selections of large, rare diamonds, from 3 carats to 20 carats, all certified by
Big Lou's got a Cadillac with a cigar and a bad
You have
toupee.
this whole vision of Big Lou.
Huh?
Yeah, America can say we're right. A large selection of
And he's politically incorrect. Yeah, sweetheart.
Direct's multi-million-dollar selection includes a stunning array of high-end Riviera necklaces, 20 carats,
And a gravelly voice.
and an extraordinary collection.
I got him in my brain. I got him here.
No.
Sapphires, emeralds, and even the really hard-to-find
He's constantly on vacation. That's right.
See, everybody has a different picture of Big Lou. He pictures Big Lou very successful
Yeah,
at
he
working,
does.
right? You picture him a drunk down the road.
Probably a little bit of both.
And what's the time to figure out which ones are the best podcasts?
We do. That's it. What's up, guys? I am Alicia Renee.
And I'm Dax Holt.
And we are your hosts of Pod Talk, a podcast discovery show.
Look at us as your podcast companion.
Time to look for number 3 and 4.
And number
And
4.
review them, pick the best episodes, and interview the hosts.
Yeah. His number 3 and number 4, number 2 doesn't know about.
Say goodbye. And say hello to Centerwell Senior Primary Care.
But he tells them all they're number 1.
Focused on the needs of Louisiana seniors, with new locations coming soon to Covington and Hammond. Discover the difference that makes your doctors closer to home. To learn more or become a patient, call 985-545-3490 or visit seniorfocuslouisiana.com.
The devastation caused by Hurricane Ida was unprecedented. You can prevent additional damage by making a free call to 811 a few days before you have about 5 minutes.
Okay.
Anyway, calling 811 helps protect you from unintentional consequences caused by digging into underground utility lines. After calling 811, wait the required time, confirm all marks, and then dig with care.
Reggie was talking to us about his new bed he got.
Oh, what?
Reggie was talking to us about his sleep number bed he bought.
He likes it?
He loves it. He says, I got to figure out, he goes, the sheets are a scam. You got to buy their sheets because they, I guess they have to move because the bed moves.
Oh, really?
He said, listen, all I had to do was I promised him my next job. Get that over.
Arpino. I know Anthony.
Responsible attorney Anthony Arpino, office in New Orleans. Rejuvenate your workout with Rejuvenate. Back to the Ida Recovery Connection on the station you turn to when it counts. WWL, the Big 870 AM, 105.3 FM, WWL.com, and the Odyssey app. Contact attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Open Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection. We got Greg on the line, and we're talking about the second part of his issue. Is he has an estimate for $49,000. Insurance company is only going to pay, I think, $11,000. There's a $9,000 deductible, so there's about $30,000 difference. And Greg, you're in a position that a lot of people are in right now because the insurance company said no. Don't think of the no as a permanent no. There's a couple of things you can do. Okay, number one is you can submit the estimate and ask for a supervisor from the desk adjuster to review it, and let him know you're not going away, and that your no doesn't really mean no. The second thing you could and see if that will help you. If that doesn't work, then there might be a dispute resolution person within the organization asked to speak to him and review the estimate. Now, when you submit it to him, submit it by email so that you can document date, time, and place, because that may be useful later if you have to go to the next step. Now, the other thing here's another suggestion if the adjuster will do it. Ask to see if an adjuster would meet your contractor at your house one day, and they go room by room to discuss what's the scope of the work and the pricing. Now, some adjusters will do that. They'll come out, they'll meet with the contractor, and they go room by room, and then they have a consensus as to what they will pay for and what the contractor will charge. So you have a couple of options here. You can first of all, submit your estimate via email and tell them, I'm not going away. Okay, I'm in this for the long haul. Okay. Number two, if you don't get anywhere with him and ask him to reevaluate, you ask for a supervisor or readjustment to look at it. If that doesn't work, ask for a dispute resolution individual within the organization. If that doesn't work, you could ask the adjuster to set a time to meet with your contractor, and you go through all the damage and see if they could come to a consensus. A lot of times they will do that, and they'll go through and they'll make an agreement. And an insurance company says, if you do A, B, C, and D, or this scope of work, we'll pay you X. The contractor agrees to it, and you have a scope of work defined for a particular price, and the contractor can get started working. You will have to pay that deductible though, which is $9,300.
And I think it was $8,300. But he's also a candidate for the mediation program because he's under $50,000 that Jim Donnellan, the insurance commissioner, has set up. So that's also an option for you. And if you don't know what that is. Yeah, so there's a mediation program that's been set up by Jim Donnellan, the insurance commissioner, and it's a program by which, for claims under $50,000, they're setting an hour and a half?
90 minutes.
90 minutes. You contact the insurance company, tell them you want to avail yourself of the mediation program. I know MAPS mediation firm over in Metairie has contracted or made an agreement. They've set the price. The insurance company pays the price, and you go and you get an hour and a half to mediate your claim. You go with all your documentation. You can even bring your contractor. You bring his appraisal. You bring his numbers, and you try to make a resolution.
Okay. One other thing, getting back to a succession, my wife heard that as long as it's just my brother, there's no dispute of anything. Is there some type of agreement we can file without even having a succession?
No, you have to open it.
You have to open it. You have to open it because it's real estate.
It's real estate.
You'll have to open it.
Okay.
So you might as well do it sooner than later. All right, my man. Well, Greg, I want to extend our condolences to you and the loss of your mother. I know I can tell by the way it's a big loss to you, and we just pray for you. Hope you get through it okay, and hope get your house, get your mother's house fixed up, and give you can call us at a law firm if you ever have any questions. We'll walk you through it. So that's the end of hour number one. Thanks, Greg, for the call. We'll be back for hour number two. Stay tuned for national news, local news. We'll be back in 10 minutes on the Ida Recovery Connection. See you in 10. Let's see what's going on.
WWL New Orleans, WWL FM and 18, Tenor New Orleans, and Odyssey Station.
Same question?
Yeah, I'll address that. Yeah, I can address that. That's a good question, though.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper.
Like, if you do the work yourself, they're not going to want to pay you overhead and profit.
Why would they?
Because you don't carry overhead and profit.
I said, why would they?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I didn't get
COVID-19 vaccine for children.
You can get overhead.
You can pay me an overhead. Maybe you did.
Federal health officials hope
You owe me overhead and profit, baby.
Oh, yeah, overhead and profit.
Huh.
That's it, you're right.
Think about that. That's a lot. What's the overhead and profit?
Scratching your back, rubbing your
Is
feet.
it like 25% of what we put in the house?
That's about 25%.
So it's 25% of way too much.
But $250,000. People ask me, when did you buy the house? The first time or the second?
Are you over it?
I don't know. No, I'm not saying.
You owe me $250,000.
That's right.
That's a lot
A
of.
lot of cash.
Well, that's a lot of sexual favors.
I better get it on that.
Better get it with Big Lou.
I better get Big Lou if I get back to Aretha's.
Drug traffickers have been arrested
around the world, including
Should I go get the
65
hot
right
chocolate?
here in the
If you
United
want,
States.
we might have
Social
some.
media on the hot seat. Executives from
I'm
YouTube,
kind of full
TikTok,
still
and
from dinner.
Snapchat went before a Senate Commerce subcommittee to defend how they're working to ensure the safety of young users on its platforms. CBS's Dan Patterson says the executive from Snapchat made a strong case separating its platform from the others.
When you open Snap, you see a camera lens, something to help you take a picture and create content. Our emphasis is on content creation and messaging as opposed to an algorithmic newsfeed that hooks you.
President Biden makes a case for Democrat Terry McAuliffe ahead of next week's gubernatorial election in Virginia. Mr. Biden tells those at a rally in Arlington,
You don't have to wonder what kind of governor Terry will be because you know what a great governor he was.
Doug,
Yes.
because of what he promised.
I just got a call from the CPA and the Sba Loans. Deadline for IDA is tomorrow.
Okay, gotcha.
Mort Soul turned
Thank
newspaper
you.
headlines into laughs during his stand-up routines, offering biting monologues and social commentary.
I'm sorry, the 28th. The 28th. So that'd be a day after tomorrow.
All right.
Shipping
Thank
rates
you.
help you
Cal,
assess
thank you.
Q3 results, top analysts' expectations.
It was very nice.
Presented by Rocket
28th.
Mortgage.
You need to thank whoever that was.
Or refinance yours, Rocket Mortgage can help you get there. For home loan solutions that fit your
Stop.
life, Rocket can.
Hundreds of thousands
We're gonna run in the morning, but that is it.
overpriced Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile plans and switch to pure
Astros will lose in game one of the World
coverage
Series.
at one of those carriers. Get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month. The average family is saving over $800 a year. Just dial pound 250 and say Jill 50 to save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250. Say Jill 50.
Would you like a cleaning product that can be used in the garage?
Okay, I have two holding. I have Stephen from Kenner, the demo and family law problem, and I have Jimmy from Rose, who has a number of questions.
All right.
You'll love Simple Green. If you're not 100% satisfied, I'll give you your money back. To learn more, visit us at simplegreen.com.
WWL First News, I'm Matt Doyle. On your official weather station, WWL AM/FM.com.
Overnight tonight looks partly cloudy with low temperatures on the south shore near 69 and north of the lake about 59. Tomorrow's the rainy day. We're expecting a line of showers and
Tomorrow's
storms,
rainy day,
especially
maybe?
late
Yeah.
toward
Supposed to be raining in the
evening,
morning?
between roughly
Yes.
4 to
Huh?
8 or 9 o'clock.
WWL TV meteorologist Alexander Cranford's local weather expert forecast is coming up. And the statewide indoor mask mandate is being lifted by Governor John Bell Edwards, but many schools will still be required to stay masked. Edwards
So
says districts
stupid.
have adopted a policy that does not require students to have a post-COVID
So we
contact
have
quarantine will have to remain masked up. He says mandatory
Steve.
quarantine for students
Where's
with
Steve
COVID
from, Kenner?
is pretty crucial.
That's the way that we, I believe, keep our students safe, our
He's such a
teachers
good
safe, and all the visitors to the school campuses.
Orleans Parish Schools were offered
Well,
the chance
fear,
to
fear,
mask,
fear.
but declined, saying students will need to continue. Jefferson Parish Schools say they're reviewing the policy and will make an announcement later this week, but for tomorrow, students should arrive at school masked. The city of New Orleans, for now at least, will not be joining the rest of the state in dropping the indoor mask mandate. Mayoral spokesperson earlier today said that they're reviewing the data and will take it into consideration, but like the passing times, the mandate is ended early. They don't necessarily follow lockstep with the governor's protocol. And New Orleans has seen a number of highway shootings in the past few weeks, but UNO criminologist Peter Sharp says we aren't alone in seeing that rise in the type of shooting. He told WWL's Tommy Tucker that experts don't really know why big cities are seeing more of these right now.
It's safer to kill somebody on the freeway than in a residence or a store or something else. They get away easier. You have fewer police officers out there.
And New Orleans officials say their survey of crew of Boo Parade attendees has already yielded some noteworthy results. Of the more than 1,200 people surveyed, 93% were vaccinated. New Orleans Mayor's office spokesman Bo Tidwell says they tested 60 people on site and passed out about 1,000 home tests.
So the event was largely a big success from the city's perspective. The health department's going to continue to monitor that data. Obviously, 2 or 3 weeks out from now, we'll have a better sense of what actually happened in terms of COVID rates, and we'll move from there.
What they learned will help the city decide how to handle having Mardi Gras parades in 2022.
Now, your Garcia Roofing forecast on WWL.
Some big weather changes on the way, but not for this evening. It looks really pleasant, so anything you want to do outside looking fine. Temperatures just
Doing research.
70s, and then overnight we'll have partly cloudy skies.
Is this supposed to rain in the morning, so they're going to run?
North of
No,
Berwick,
it's
about
not going to be
59.
raining tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, mostly cloudy.
It's going to start raining in the afternoon,
Up to
but
20 miles per hour.
not in the morning.
All right, good.
And a high chance to see the showers and storms in the second part of the day. We'll likely see a line of strong thunderstorms rolling across our area from west to east, and that will be again toward the evening hours, probably wrapping up by about 9 or 10.
Okay, Stephen dropped off. We have Jimmy from the road.
All right.
Upper 50s on the North Shore. Highs Thursday near 74 with clearing skies and a strong north wind, and we're set up for a very pleasant fall weather Friday through Halloween. From your local weather expert forecast center, I'm WWL TV meteorologist Alexandra Cranford.
That is great news, Alexandra. Thank you so much for letting us know that we will finally be enjoying some fall weather after all this time. I'm Matt Doyle, WWL First News.
From the station you turn to when it counts, WWL, AMFM.com, and the Odyssey app, Louisiana's official emergency management station. This is Ida Recovery Connection with attorney Doug Sinceri. Connect now on the Open Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870. Now, beaming back to our Jefferson Financial Federal Credit Union studio, here's Doug.
Hey, we're back. Hour number 2, Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demmer Sinceri, the Ida Recovery Connection, on till 10 o'clock today. Tonight, we're on tomorrow night from 8 to 10. Then all things legal will be on from 8 to 11 because it's game day where the Saints play at 3:25. So they'll have Scott Alexander and Steve Geller. We'll have 11 o'clock countdown to kickoff. You were in school with Scott Alexander, weren't you?
Yeah,
at LSU. Yeah. And then at 1 o'clock, you got the we have what did I say? They have the Bud Light countdown to kickoff with Bobby Christian and Mike Batillier. Game time 3:25. Tom Brady's coming to town. He was good on the Manning cast.
He was good, I know.
He was on good in the Manning cast last night. And
but I was talking to somebody. I was waiting for court to start this morning. We were talking about the Saints game. When I watch them, I don't really watch the game. I'm just listening to them.
We watch. Now we like to turn down the sound and listen to Mike and Deuce when we can.
We can't. Well, yes, but last night we were listening
to the Manning cast because we can do it outside,
right?
But we can't do it inside because. So so it'll be a Tampa Bay. That'll be a great test.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to get healthy a little bit.
It was a good win last night.
Look, any win in the NFL is great.
Mm-hmm.
You never apologize for a win, even though it wasn't the prettiest win.
Okay.
To win in Seattle was tough, man. It's tough. So the defense is something else, man. They're playing. All right. Well, let's go to phone lines. Let's go to Jimmy from LaRose, the home of Coach O. And do not speed through LaRose. Do not speed through LaRose, okay? Unless you want to drop about $400. Hey, Jimmy, what you have for us? Huh? That's right. All right. Gotcha.
If you don't mind, I have 5 or 6 questions.
Yeah.
I think they'll be short answers to them.
Okay.
And if that's okay, I'll go ahead with my question.
Yes, sir.
Depreciation deductible. How does that work, number 1?
Depreciation. It's usually it usually attaches to your coverage A, but you have to see. You might have different deductibles for different coverages. For your coverage A you building, you might have a different deductible for additional living expenses and also for your contents. But basically, if you have a deductible for $4,000 for your building coverage or your dwelling coverage, the first $4,000 you have to eat. The insurance company doesn't have to pay. So, for example, if you have $10,000 of damage with a $4,000 deductible, you will only be paid $6,000 because you're responsible, the policyholder is responsible for the first $4,000. A lot of deductibles are.
I'm not clear.
He's talking about the depreciation.
$19,000 deductible, and I have an $18,000 depreciation deductible. Then will I get all that depreciation?
Well, I think what you have is you have depreciation. You probably have a replacement. You have a replacement value policy, which means, let me explain to you this way. Let's make some round numbers. Let's say your deductible is $10,000 and your damage is $50,000. Okay. And then your recoverable depreciation is $10,000. All right. What's going to happen is when your initial check will be $30,000. It'll be $50,000 less the $10,000 deductible, less the $10,000 recoverable depreciation. Now, what happens is if you complete the repair, they will pay you back that $10,000 for recoverable depreciation. Yes, yeah.
May I interrupt right here?
Yes, absolutely.
Is there other issues that could come up? Say, you do not replace the exact same quality or.
They have to basically consider it a completed repair. So yes, they could be some issues. Now, let's say you spend over $50,000. You should be able to get back your recoverable depreciation, and you should also get a supplement. Yeah.
I spent $40,000.
Right, or you spend $50,000 for a $50,000 repair. You'd have to. If you.
Can they say they won't give me back my deductible on the recovery?
No, recoverable depreciation. If you complete the repair, they should give it back to you. For example, if you have a roof, okay, and it costs $25,000 to repair. Let's say $5,000 is your deductible and $5,000 is your recoverable depreciation. Well, when you receive your initial check, it'll be $15,000 because it'll be $25,000 minus your deductible minus your recoverable depreciation. Let's say you finish the roof and it's completely repaired. What you do is you take a picture of the roof, or you get the roofer to issue a statement that the roof has been completely repaired, and then you submit that to the claims adjuster. They should return or reimburse you that $5,000 recoverable depreciation because the job is completed. Now, the reason they do that is the insurance company wants to make sure that you fix the property. They want you to use that money to fix the property, and because chances are they may insure it the following year, and they don't want to insure a property that's not completely fixed or repaired.
Okay. So let me say something again. They're telling me if I spend 40, I won't get my full.
That's it. If you spend 40 and it's completely repaired, they should refund it. Now, if you spend 40 because you did some of the work, they should maybe they should repair it. The criteria is, and there is sometimes an argument about that, is it repair, or did you spend the money to repair it? Even though, now theoretically, if you had to spend more than 50, you should ask for a supplement.
Correct. Okay. So if I help in the repair, does that help me? And it goes less than the recoverable deductible.
Recoverable depreciation. What I would do.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I would send a picture showing it's all repaired. Even ask them to come out and demonstrate that come out, see it's fully repaired. If it's fully repaired, a lot of insurance companies will cut loose to recoverable depreciation.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll move on. Okay.
Sure.
Look.
You're asking great questions, so keep on going.
Clothes. You can all think about clothes. And I asked my desk adjuster, how about my soap clothes? We had water in the house. Roof was partially removed. Every room, sheetrock was on the floor. So, and we could come back 4 days, actually 5 days. And it rained pretty much every day in that span. I came home and it rained for another, not every day, but it rained like downpour. Okay. I said, my clothes are wet. Well, you can wash them.
No.
Mm-mm.
No, because that water went through. You tell me you can tell me, yeah, you can wash them, but I still need the whole replacement for it.
Yeah, and that's where and that's where you start doing your contents list. And so I can tell you, because I can tell you, and it can be an arduous process. We helped my brother-in-law. We spent hours, and we 10 sheets, 10 pillowcases, and just but if you itemize it right, you'll get the money for it. Everything that was wet, we claimed.
Because the water comes through roof, insulation, sheetrock, onto your clothes, and it stays there for 6 or 7 days, as you described it. You can't. You tell.
Yeah, no, you just itemize it.
You itemize it and you send it in.
Mm-hmm. Now I'll tell you what they made my brother-in-law do is, like, they had like 50 pairs of shoes. He had to go back and put pair of shoe, estimate the price, and list every pair of shoes separate. But if it's what you
now
have to do.
here's another idea. What I tell you to do is, a lot of times you keep a running list, because a lot of times you remember things after the fact. So you'll reach for something, you go, oh my gosh, that was I was thrown away. So keep a running list so you can have a comprehensive list as to what's damaged. And no. You can take pictures of it and get rid of it. You don't need to keep it. Take pictures of it and then get rid of it.
Now listen what I've done. I've hired a girl to start washing my clothes. It's going to be. In 3 weeks, she's washing clothes right now. We're maybe halfway through.
I'm going to tell you, I wouldn't want to wear clothes that have been mildewed in water for 5 days, and the water is not. I know. I'm just saying. I think you ought to claim those. Don't worry about washing them. No, you can't do both.
Okay, so I love that 3 weeks of that woman's later. Because I listened to my adjustment.
Well, I'm sorry about that. And that, you bring up a good point though. I would put it in your claim and said, you know what, my desk adjuster told me wrong, and you have a good faith duty to not misrepresent the terms and conditions of the policy. And you told me something that was wrong. There is no way in heck I should be required to wear clothes that have been mildewed and soaked for 5 days straight without any type of remediation. No, you told me wrong. I want you to pay both. I would be very strong about that, because but for the fact he told you that, and say, no, you can't tell me to do this, and then I find out that's really not acceptable. I tell you what, he wouldn't wear clothes that was soaked for 5 days. So, 10 or 12 days. No way in heck. There's certain things you cannot clean after that. So, I guess.
He's got another question.
Which you have another question for us?
Yes, sir. Actually, 3 of.
Okay, I tell you what. Let's do this. Let's take a break.
Yes.
And then we'll come back with Jimmy from LaRose, the home of Coach O, and just north of the site of many speeding tickets in Golden Meadow. And we'll be right back. Stay tuned for Jimmy. We'll be right back on the Ida Recovery Connection after this brief timeout.
I didn't know how many times you were going to say that. You
Thank
tend
you.
to repeat yourself.
I do.
Then I have Delco from Berwick.
Delco. Okay.
So listen, Polly claimed they got all the money for the stuff. He didn't throw it away. Polly didn't throw any of that crap away.
Well, I mean, if he wanted to throw it away, I thought he wanted to throw it away.
We packed it up and
I know he could have kept it. I mean, you could throw it. I mean, when I think of clothes, it's like my dad's stuff. When he had it all, we just throw it away.
Well, no, Polly's wasn't like that. It just got damp, but we cleaned it off.
Yeah, well, you could. This is what we can do. I wouldn't say that.
Is easy. Just pick your lineup of pro basketball ballers.
Where's Delco from? From Berwick. That's right. That's right.
And more.
They should be coming up right after Babel, right? Elaborate.
Gotcha.
It's the perfect time to showcase us the language of our roofers.
Gotcha.
Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings app and use code BIG870. This week, new customers can get a free shot at millions in total prizes with their first deposit. That's code BIG870, only at DraftKings. $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Have you heard all these new national chain store ads that claim guaranteed?
What are you doing? Seeing who's from
Berwick.
Berwick?
Nobody's from Berwick.
Where is that?
Jenny Craig. Founder of Jenny Craig's from Berwick by Morgan City.
You know the founder of Jenny Craig is. He was she's married to a big guy in New Orleans.
Founder.
That's Lydia,
Jenny
my
Craig.
cousin Lydia and Jenny's mom.
Jenny Craig.
We have a culture of creating the best of just about everything. Our music, food, even our jewelry. At Open Heart,
So we got. It's a Jimmy, huh?
Yeah.
beautiful jewelry.
But then we got some other people holding too.
Huh?
We have some other people holding too.
We got Jimmy and Delco from Berwick.
And
Delco's
then
a
we have
regular.
that.
Shop
Yeah.
online and
Delco's a
around.
regular.
Simply compare. You'll find that we offer finer
Oh, we have to give the
diamonds and
deadline.
best price.
Oh yeah.
Open Heart on Metairie Road.
It wasn't Alexander, Sky Alexander, Del Sal guys here. Yes.
For years, I had carpal tunnel syndrome and joint pain. Then I started having heart-related symptoms like fatigue and palpitations. Turns out I had heart failure caused by hereditary transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare, life-threatening disease underdiagnosed in African Americans. If you're African American and over 50 with heart failure experiencing unresolved symptoms, talk to your doctor or visit DonKnowsHisHeart.com.
Choosing American Family Therapist or counselor.
Delilah!
The Louisiana licensed professional
Delilah!
counselor.
She's mad at me, dog.
Mental health counselors and therapists.
What?
Licensure.
Delilah!
A master's degree and 3,000 hours of clinical experience.
Delilah!
To the code of ethics when working with clients to improve mental, behavioral, and emotional health. Make sure
Delilah!
therapist is licensed
She's mad,
in
dog.
Louisiana. Look for your counselor's credentials at lpc4.org.
Delilah!
Trip to Spain later this year. For Spanish. It's pretty bad.
Oh, y'all are dogs.
It's
No!
Designed with that goal in mind. Babbel's conversation-based method teaches you real-life words and phrases, and with Babbel's interactive, bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Stop it, Jeff.
¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres? No matter your learning style or experience level, Babbel has lessons designed for you that will get you speaking quickly.
She's not talking to me anymore.
I tried learning Spanish before, but
Huh?
She's not talking to
until I
me
found
anymore.
Babbel.
It's mad at you.
Ahora,
It's Brandon.
español.
You know how we got stop spraying her?
I can't
No.
wait to use our new language skills on our upgrade.
Delilah!
Babbel, language for life, celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now
Delilah!
it's free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Thanks for joining attorney Doug Sinceri on the Ida Recovery Connection. From the station you turn to when it counts. WWL. Consult with Doug now on the Open Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line. 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers, Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. We're on the line with Jimmy from La Rose, and he's got some more questions for us. Jimmy, what you got? What else do you have for us? Jimmy.
Hello?
Yes, Jimmy.
I'm sorry. Okay, next question. What is the negative issues of
Well, if you, to do the work yourself.
They're talking about paying for it.
No. I think if you can afford to do that, that is the best way to deal with this. Is you do the repairs and you build the insurance company as you go, because a lot of times at this stage we're fighting over estimates or we're disputing over estimates. So we're disputing over theory as to scope and price. Now, when you actually do the repairs, your scope and your price is set. There's a lot less wiggle room there. Now, unless you did upgrades or did something over and above what you had there before. And so that is the best way to determine the price. Because they can't, if they're within the scope of the hurricane damage and you paid a contractor to do it, they can't argue over the price because it is what it is.
I wish your roofer man was there. I've been listening to you for quite a while. I really enjoy your program. You and your wife. I'm tired of you, your wife, correct?
It is.
Yes, she is.
Anyway, and when that roofer was on, that expert roofer fellow you had about 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago,
Right.
whatever it was, I learned a lot from him. And anyway, I wanted to ask, what is the going rate for a roof, to get a roof done?
How many squares?
Is there,
Yeah.
you want to know my squares?
Yeah.
104.
I think you're going to be around 17, 20, maybe a little more. Depends if you don't need decking. I'd say between 17 and 22. And I'm just sort of pulling it out the air. What do you have?
You're all fired up.
How much with the quotes? Yeah, what are the quotes did you get?
Quotes that I received was 360 square with the height, wind, and they all hit the call that.
Yeah, a lot has to do with. Yeah.
Yeah, it's expensive. Plus, it's all takes long to put on.
Okay, so that's closer to 30 plus.
It's 30 plus.
Okay.
My insurance is wanting to pay me less than what I pay.
No. If you change the roof, they have to pay you, provided it's the same like and quality. Now, and you got a replacement cost policy. They have to pay you what you pay the roofer. There's no real defense to that.
Because he has a replacement cost.
Yeah, because
because
if you got an
ACP.
actual cash value, you get depreciation.
Let me be fair with the insurance company. It's not just felt paper. It's an upgrade.
You don't get the upgrade now unless there's right now. Now there's sometimes provisions and policies where you have to comply with a code upgrade that they'll pay for, but I don't think that's what that would apply.
No, they would. So
now the other upgrade you could have is if the prior, what you had before, is no longer made. In other words, if that type of shingle is no longer in existence,
I'm not talking about the shingle. I'm talking about the felt paper, the first layer.
Okay, well then you got more damage. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had to nail my whole roof down.
So
about a quarter of an inch, all my plywood.
Sounds like you have decking problems. That would greatly increase the price. Okay. Again, the best way to do this, most people can't afford it, and I tell them, go change your roof and build an insurance company. They really don't have a basis for not paying. They just don't, especially if the roofer puts in his invoice that it's related to her. It needs to be replaced due to high winds from Hurricane Ida. Man, you guys were right in the bullseye. Y'all had 130 mile an hour winds. Most of these roofs aren't engineered to sustain winds more than 70 miles an hour for a couple of minutes. So
that's what expert roofer was saying. 10 minutes at 95 miles an hour, you can replace the roof whether you have shingles missing or not.
Absolutely. So if you can do it, I would change it and build an insurance company, and they're not paying.
They don't want to pay the full amount.
No, okay. Well, then, just what you need to do is document that you submitted by email, document their receipt of it, and then There's the mediation program with the
He's going to be over.
Louisiana Department of no, not necessarily, because they paid some of it. The Louisiana Department of Insurance, and document your claim up, because if you do that, it makes your claim more valuable with mediation, because if you have an attorney fee scenario, they'll put more money on the claim to resolve it.
Right. Okay. I appreciate that answer. Also, my damages, in my opinion, are above $125,000.
Okay.
They've given me $62,000 minus $19,100 deductible, and recoverable depreciation deductible of $18,500.
Okay.
And I've called a dozen times to send a second adjuster that the first adjuster didn't do.
What you probably need to do is quantify the damages yourself and send it to them. That's probably the best way. Get an estimate. Yeah, but
arrived after we tore down walls, pushed back plywood, pictures of all this. Is that sufficient?
It's not. What I think you need to do is quantify your damages. You have to get a contractor out there to quantify it to the penny, and then send it to the insurance company. They're not going to do it for you. They're not going to do it for you. They're telling you to prove it, and they want it quantified. And
What's the problem with them not getting a second adjuster?
They're just not going to do it. I mean, they may. I would doubt it. It's on you to quantify. What you got to do.
Close my claim. I said we're not doing any more until you start getting bills.
That's right.
And so that's why you have to quantify.
That's why you have to quantify your damages. You could either pay like a contractor to do it, or the contractor who's going to do your repairs, or you get a public adjuster, or you get help.
That one coming Thursday.
Okay. Well, then the public adjuster should be able to quantify the damages for you.
Oh, great. I'm not good at writing this.
No, nobody is. It's a specialty.
Okay, it is, and I appreciate someone that's capable of doing it. I really do.
Yeah, they're going to use the exact.
Make it look like it's
Okay. All right. Yeah, they use the Xactimate program just like the insurance company, so that'll help you quantify it. Make sure they submit it, and hopefully they'll pay. If not, then you'll have to get additional help. Okay. But you
my last question.
Yes, real quick, we gotta go to a break.
Okay. Yes, I understand. Okay. You had mentioned something about my wife's been in Lafayette. She's been here. She's been there. And you want me to wait after the break?
Okay, we'll let you. We'll let you. We'll go to the break. Doug Sinceri and Michelle Demers Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection. We'll go. We'll be back with Jimmy on the line right after this brief timeout. Huh?
Gotta get that other guy too.
He's asking good questions.
LSU Fighting Tigers. Home of Bobby Hebert, Deuce McAllister, and Mike Haas. For all pro analysis of the teams you love, catch Sports Talk. Weekdays, 4 to 8 p.m. with Bobby Hebert, Christian Garrick, and Mike Detillier.
He owe me $250,000 worth of back rubs.
That's right.
Feet rubs. And...
Probably a good way there.
You're probably right. If we include doing all the things.
Missing, but we do have Navian as our last.
Navian. Big Lou scared Michelle. Probably one of his ex-wives going to hire her.
Those types of guys are the ones that typically take advantage of people with bad work or overcharged.
You know what Griffith said?
Who's that? Speaking of Big Lou.
He said in the back. He said in the back. So I was okay. I didn't really care. But he was like, and listen, Judge, we all know how Michelle Sinceri operates.
Oh, is that the wrong person?
I was like, what?
You know, that's the I thought I sent him that.
www.lacontractor.org, and we'll be more
I
than
thought I
happy
sent
to
him that
answer any
message.
questions that we possibly can. That's
Oh yeah, I did send him that.
lacontractor.org.
Not only does the largest diamond store in Louisiana have 2,380
That is like,
Also, 904 wedding bands, not including the one-of-a-kind wedding band we're going to make for you.
You have a really unique engagement.
he said that to the wrong judge too. Huh?
I didn't take it that he thought I was unethical, but he was like, he said to the judge, I keep telling Miss Michelle, this thing could have been so easy, but we all know how Michelle Sincere was. And the judge was like, when I finished, the judge was like, I think Miss Emmer's got the better opinion. I think this could have been easy if you all would have left the POD alone.
You're going to find the perfect wedding band, too.
Engagement rings and wedding bands.
I mean, they were working against the heirs.
Big anniversary diamond.
Just so she can get a 20. So Brandy was in there. She was in the courtroom. Not in the courtroom, but she was at.
She was in the courtroom. She had to go.
Is she getting a fee or anything?
Nope, not a dime.
Through its annual support of college football and amateur sports, the Sugar Bowl
They wanted to have me agree to keep $180,000 in the estate because that's what the house sold for, and they were arguing that my client usurped his authority by putting the sale proceeds into his dad's POD account. I was like, wait a second, Judge, this is the first time hearing about this, but I can tell you, Niccolo Fabre was of sound capacity. He didn't go to the sale because he wasn't feeling well. Not that, because he had capacity to sign the POA. Because they were looking for a 2.5% off of 189. Like, I'm not doing that. I said, I'll try this case.
82% of people remember radio ads.
I'm not paying her a dime.
82% of you listening right now will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter.
That girl.
If you're hiring, 82% of you will recall that ZipRecruiter is hiring
I'd be
faster
scared to go in
than
front of a judge with all
82% of you will note that you can try ZipRecruiter for free today. But
Whatever happened to
you have
her?
to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free.
And I told the judge, I
Yes,
said, Judge,
free.
listen, I know Brittany Carter. She clerked for me when she was in SSA. I said, I don't really know why this case is happening like it is, but I said, listen, and Stephen was like, she's trying to hurt my reputation. She's insinuating there was some kind of scam going on. So when I told the judge, and he was like,
Post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Would you be part of the 82% who remember where you
it was like they were so blind. I was like, do you not hear?
ZipRecruiter.com/free. Again, that
I would have been
link,
mortified.
ZipRecruiter.com/free. How much? Free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Navien tankless water heaters, the proven leader in condensing technology. Request a Navien because you deserve the best in endless hot water delivery. Learn about Navien's condensing tankless water heaters and find a Navien contractor at tanklessmadesimple.com.
I called Amanda and thanked her. So she did a great job.
Of the Ida Recovery on WWL AMFM.com and the Odyssey app. Reach attorney Doug Sinceri now on the Open Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line. 504-260-1870.
Hey, we're back. We're back from the Steve from LaRose show.
No, it's Jimmy.
Jimmy from LaRose show. Okay, Jimmy, you got one more. No, that's right, Jimmy. What? One more. You got another question for us?
Yeah, the last question is Trailer RV. I called my agent and asked her how much living expense I had. I thought it was $27,000. She had her own Jimmy, last name and she said, "You have $57,000." I said, "What? You're crazy. Who needs $57,000?" She said, "You were born in April, right?" I said, "No, I was born in June." "Oh, I have their own,
Policy.
She pulled it up. I have $114,000 worth of living expense. Okay. Apparently each year they increase.
Okay.
And I have gone back in the past. I said, I have too much insurance. My house is not worth nearly that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've dropped that. Last time I dropped it, $360.
Mm-hmm.
It's back up to $415. Apparently it's been longer than I thought. That twice I've dropped it in a week. And hearing people are renting and buying trailers. Whoa, brother. Yes, you can rent a trailer as long as in range, but buy a trailer? No, you can't do that. I heard in your program where it's possible.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you could buy a trailer that's functional. I mean, I don't think you could buy a tailgating RV, but you can buy something. Yeah, but you can buy a trailer. And a lot of people, like the type of FEMA trailers they had, absolutely. And
So I can't go out and buy a new RV. I'm talking about a trailer.
Like a trailer. Yeah.
Yeah. And, but of course, we want big enough living room. I don't want to live in a 12 by 10 living room kitchen.
Right. Now they may have. That depends on like and kind and functionality. If it's something more than to stay there and you can have, it's going to have a large residual value, you may have a problem. I'm not an RV expert, but if you got one of the fancy RVs that you travel all over the nation, but something that's functional, they should pay for it. Like similar to the FEMA trailers after Katrina, they should pay something for like that.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm living in not an old shed at all. In a shed, it was a RV shed.
Yeah.
Only bad thing about it actually is you get wet because it's not finished.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Refrigerated into
Well, yeah. I think what you can buy a reasonably priced trailer to stay in pending.
It's hard.
But yeah, but no, I understand. I'm just telling you. Right. Yeah. Gotcha. All right, Jimmy. We're gonna have to move on. Okay. But I hear what you're saying. Okay, Jimmy. All right. Gotcha. That's it.
Jimmy.
All right, thanks, Jimmy. Thanks for the call. All right. Do we have Delco still? Yeah. Okay. We got Delco from Berwick, down by Morgan City, the home of Jenny Craig. Did you know that in Berwick?
I know you just looked it up.
I just looked it up. Hey, Delco, what you got for us, man? What's up, man? I haven't heard you since you were back in the Buddy D days. I remember you, Delco. That's right, Delco. That's right. I remember Delco. That's right. Did you enjoy when Delco, Buddy, would say, "Let's talk to Wabi from River Ridge. Want to talk about the Cleveland Browns."
And I listened on the WWL on the radio because I couldn't see it at home. So I'm listening on WWL and Buddy and they was talking, man, and I got my phone back. I mean, it dropped and I lost my signal. No, my radio's back. I lost the signal. I didn't know if the thing won or nothing or not. So when I did call Buddy, Buddy said, "What happened, Delco?" I said, "Man, I fixed my radio, man. I was crazy. I didn't know if the thing won or not." And kind of found out the thing did beat the Reds.
There you go. Yeah. What you got for us? What you got for?
My question is, I went on with my own state and I live there, which I'm not bad as other people, I'm not complaining. I thank God that, we got through this year because if it came 30 more miles our way, it would head on,
Mm-hmm.
So I felt about the home and all that do land and all those other places and stuff like that, but that's life and we just gotta move on,
That's right.
My insurance man came by, you look at my roof and stuff. You told him, so you don't have much damage, so you got enough, you got at least about 4 bundles we can put up here and get your right now, all they got is a little spot need to be done in my house, and I don't think that color's gonna match. So I called my insurance back, and they told me, well, Joe, if you can't find the shingles, you can put another color up there, and then you send us a picture, and then if it don't match good, we might have to redo your whole roof.
Well, I think I would redo the whole roof, not patch it and then redo the whole roof. So, and yeah, well, no, I wouldn't do that. Let me ask you, what kind of winds did y'all get in Berwick? What kind of gust? All right. Well, do you have a 3-tab roof, just a asphalt shingle roof? Chances are your roof didn't survive it. It's in that area. It's fair to say that most of those roofs need to be replaced because most of these roofs can't. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I don't think you need to patch it up. I mean, if you wanted, you could redo the roof and bill the insurance company, or when you get an estimate, get a roofer to say whether he thinks it needs to be replaced. Put it. What type of analysis he did to determine that, and put it in the estimate and submit it to Allstate and say I want it paid, less your deductible. I think that would be the best way of doing it. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. What I would do is get an estimate, have them put the fact that it needs to be replaced due to the damage caused by Hurricane Ida in the analysis. Whether it be granular loss, the tabs aren't sealed, whatever analysis they use to come to that conclusion. Put it in there, send it to Allstate, and say, look, I want a roof replacement. Period. All right, my man. Yeah. No, I wouldn't patch it up first. Yeah. Yeah, don't patch it. Right. That's right. Absolutely. You got it right, Delco. Man, it's so good to hear from you again. Call again. All right. Call on Sunday morning. We'll talk some Saints too. Yeah. We'll talk Saints, man. There you go. All right. Win's a win. That's right. Win's a win. We got to get healthy. All right, brother. Good hearing from you. All right, let's go to a break. Doug Sinceri, Michelle Demers, Sinceri, Ida Recovery. Our last break. We'll be right back after this brief time out. You remember Delco?
No.
You've been calling the station for 30 years.
Okay, we have one more caller on the line. Tony from the West Bank.
Is Tony?
You need to put the
4 minutes to do that.
Okay.
You need to put the deadline for Sba Loans.
Okay, why don't you do that real quick?
They took the ring design and said,
She likes me, Doug. She likes me.
Huh? She not. She forgave you.
And the end result, a spectacular handcrafted Christopher Designs ring.
I think she was sleeping in here when I was calling her.
Oh, really?
Because that's our walk here.
Nothing short of an awesome experience.
Get the ring of your dreams without a compromise at Diamonds Direct.
You can dream it, Diamonds Direct can design it.
On Severn Avenue, across from Lakeside.
At Mike Byrne Injury Attorneys,
So who we have? We have
business hours, and neither do we. If you've been hurt in a wreck after 5 p.m., don't wait till tomorrow to get the help you need right now.
West Bank. Who's it from West Bank?
Ready to take your call, ready to give you free advice, and ready to help you get the medical attention you need. You don't have to wait till tomorrow.
Who's on the phone again from the West Bank?
Mike Bradner.
Tony.
Louisiana Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin.
Early voting for the November election begins October 30th, ending November 6th. If you live in an area affected by Hurricane Ida, visit geauxvote.com or call 800-883-2805 for information on absentee ballots, polling place changes, and election dates and deadlines. I'm Secretary of State Kyle Ardoin, reminding you to go vote. Over the past year, we've been through a lot.
Where's Tony from?
Huh?
Where's Tony from?
West Bank.
As vaccines
West Bank, bro.
We need to stay vigilant and look towards the future. Our cleaning and disinfecting programs have worked against
The home of our future son-in-law.
continue to work in the future to give you
Former home of our future son-in-law.
all the time. Danny King, the king of clean, can help
You know what's
you
so
with
funny?
clean and healthy building.
Katie always calls him like a clothes horse, like he loves to go shopping, and he has like all those shoes, but I've never seen him in a decent pair of shoes.
Yeah, really?
No.
Might just collect them.
And I've never seen him in like
Clothes off clothes?
no. Like, you think he just buys it and puts it in his closet?
Gotcha. These are, they're bougie couple. They have some bouginess to them.
He's got bouginess about stuff he, but not bouginess about what he wears. Like, you never, I would not call him a clothes horse, but she always talks about how he likes to go shopping, and I saw the shoes. But I'm like, I'm always looking at the shoes, like, when are you going to wear their shoes that you got in your closet?
Multifunctional space or kid space. Our professional design consultants will help you get organized and make your space one that works better for you. Now you can love where you live.
I thought I was going to have an easy morning, and now I got another hearing in the morning.
You have to fish up from here out.
Hey, non-lawyer spokesperson. Business and homeowners, if you feel you were underpaid by your insurance company after Hurricane
Non-lawyer
Ida, legal
spokesperson.
help is available. Call Gligo Williams Attorneys at Law today. Call 504
Who?
500
Gligo Williams?
2020. Responsible attorney Mark Lego office in New
Lego, Mark Lego. I'm the one.
Executive MBA in 17 months on Saturdays at Southeastern Louisiana University. Our accredited program offers general management and healthcare concentrations. Classes start in January. Contact Dr. John Cresson, Director, at 985-549-2146. Back to Ida Recovery Connection on WWL.AMFM.com and the Odyssey app. You can get expert advice now from attorney Doug Sinceri on the Oakland Heart Jewelers Talk and Text line, 504-260-1870.
All right, we're back. Doug Sinceri, Ida Recovery Connection will be on tomorrow night from 8 to 10 o'clock. And Michelle, you have an update on the SBA loans.
Yeah, we had a call from a CPA who was very gracious to give us some information that the deadline for the SBA loans is the 28th.
October 28th. 2 days.
28th in 2 days.
The disaster loan. So get your application
Get your
in if you hadn't
application
done it before. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to Tony from the West Bank, the home of former federal magistrate Jay Wilkerson.
You're just a wealth of information.
Yeah, that's it, man. Jay, if he's listening. Hey, Tony, what you have for us, man? We've got a couple of minutes.
Yeah, thank you guys for taking my phone call tonight. Great show as always. Let me ask you a question, man. Why, is it that our legislators, branch up in Baton Rouge and our lawmakers in Baton Rouge and Washington, D.C. don't put some kind of law on the books to hold these insurance companies that had no problem taking people's policy premiums when times are good, but when times are bad, they try to nickel and dime the citizens that work hard to pay these flood insurance premiums, these wind and hail premiums. Why don't we have our elected officials working harder to tell these insurance companies you're not going to push our citizens around?
Well, there are a couple of laws that are somewhat helpful for wind policies. Flood policies, there's no laws really for late payments, but for the wind policies, if after you provide satisfactory proof of loss, they have 30 days to make payment of undisputed payment of damages, meaning what they don't dispute. If they don't do that, they could be liable for penalties and attorney's fees. The problem is, when you have 100,000 cases, it's hard to get them to trial, and so most of them are settled through mediation, and they can wait you out. But there are a couple of laws that are helpful. And if you do, we tried 3 cases after Katrina and we got penalties and attorney's fees in all 3 of them. It's just that a lot of times it gets stuck in the court system for 3 or 4 years before you go to trial, and the people are without, payment during that time period. So, but there are some laws that are pretty good, and if we didn't have them in place, they would be a lot slower than they are.
I mean, can you get these adjusters that come out? I'll give you a prime example. For Katrina, my daughter had just recently bought a house, and she was young at the 20s. I went over there, and I told the adjuster, I said, "You need to climb in the attic, man." "Oh, you get pictures right here from the attic staircase." I said, "No, I'll tell you what. Why don't you climb in the attic like me and my son-in-law did, and go look at the damage?" And I had to argue back and forth with the insurance company. So they send these halfway trained adjusters out there that are, brought in from out of state because they need the help. And they're really the root of the problem, because they come out there and they shortchange you right off the bat, and you have to start arguing with the adjuster that's in California somewhere. It's a flawed system.
Well, what you're going to have to do really is you're going to have to quantify the damages. The homeowners have to quantify the damages to the penny, and they send it to the insurance company. That's the best way. And, be it you do it through a public adjuster, through a contractor, with the help of an attorney, or you can do it yourself. You have to quantify the damages and submit it to the insurance company. And when the homeowner does, or the policyholder does, that's when the clock starts to run, really. And so that's the key. If is work on quantifying the damages, submitting it to the insurance company, document the submissions, get it in a fashion that's digestible for them. That's when the clock runs. And the people who do a very good job of quantifying their damages, they often get paid at some point during the process.
And that's what you and I have been talking about. You have to change the paradigm shift of what you think. It is always the homeowner's duty to quantify their damages. It is not the insurance company.
Yeah, because the insurance company's not going to do that.
They're never going to do it.
They're just going to institute some claims procedures, throw you some seed money, and you're going to have to do the rest. But thanks for the call. And we'll talk about the paradigm shift tomorrow. Yeah. That'll be one of the topics. There's a few topics we wanted to get to today that we really couldn't. We had callers the entire time. But we'll be back tomorrow night on the IDA Recovery Connection. We'll be on from 8 to 10. Thank you for walking across the hall and working with it.
Always.
So we'll see you tomorrow night on the IDA Recovery Connection. We'll see you then. Have a wonderful night.
People get so mad.
Thank you, Doug.
People get so mad.